should stop
talking
to people outside, because there are times when I want to message you stuff about comics.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? This is going to be relevant later, so I'll just save it.
Okay.
And I keep doing that, but now we should just start doing it for, like,
general
everything.
life.
Yeah.
I should just not talk to anybody. And just, like,
If you think I might hear, or anyone listening might hear.
Just don't speak it up. Yeah.
Now whoever's listening now is going to be thinking the whole time, what was the potato story? And you're never going to know. I'm sorry.
I'm just going to reference it constantly and never bring it up.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of references you made that people just won't understand.
Maybe like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, like that whole time when you spent like 5 episodes talking about the Brock report. It's just me. I can smell burning. Am I having a stroke?
I cannot smell burning, but might be downstairs. Maybe
it smells like burning, like, when it starts going nuts, like technology.
It's not my computer. My computer's like fine. Oh, maybe it's my Xbox. I'm just gonna turn it off.
I'm just scared that something's on fire and we're just gonna be podcasting while slowly roasting alive.
It's the hottest podcast in town. Oh my god, the burning.
Put a microphone next to that. It's fine, dog.
Yeah. Special guest, burning fire.
Yeah, I mean, that's what this podcast is, really. It's like the world is literally on fire, and then here's another episode from a show that came out like 24 years ago.
25 years ago now.
25.
Yeah, it's as old as we are. And here we are covering it.
I shot out of my mother's womb and straight into a TV set where Spider-Man was doing Spider-Man shit. Such as the episode we're going to talk about this week.
So that's a terrifying mental image that I have to kind of just process.
I came out and we were talking about the second Insidious 6 episode, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. I haven't seen the first season.
It's kind of that episode of like Arrested Development with like the human bullet, where he's like, shoot me.
I never found that funny.
I love that episode.
I hate that guy because he's just always drooling over himself. It was just really gross.
Yeah, it's like weird vomit reflex if we shake him too much.
It's just not. Every time that started, I'd be like, this joke just isn't for me.
I didn't know why I found it hilarious because he's just so like weird. And he's got a deaf guy to carry him around. It's just so bizarre.
Welcome to the Arrested Development podcast, where I describe Arrested Development jokes to you
in excruciating detail, with zero context. I know, we should probably talk about the actual podcast, which we do. So yeah, welcome to yet another episode of That 90s Spider-Man Show, where two jerks take you through the world of Spider-Man the Animated Series, episode by episode. This time around, we're doing Season 2, Episode 2, which is the Battle of the Insidious 6. My name's Henry, alongside me is Jack.
Yeah, here to remind you that it's also the Neogenic Nightmare Chapter 2.
My titles are different. My titles have Battle of Insidious 6. I don't know what the actual...
What do you mean your titles? We watched the same episode together.
But like, on the Wikipedia, it's called Battle of the Insidious 6.
Oh yeah, but it is Chapter 2 of the Neo...
So what's the context of Neogenic Nightmare?
It literally comes up on the screen.
Does it come up on the scene?
It came up on the screen. Both these last 2 episodes, it's happened, and both times you didn't notice.
I just wasn't paying that. I didn't... Really?
Oh, okay, well, there's pause while Henry goes back to the episode and then spots it again.
Battle of the Insidious 6.
Look at the top. God damn it.
Oh.
I'm not going crazy.
It just says Neogenic Chapter.
I don't understand why. I'm assuming it's Chapter 2 because the last one also had that.
Yeah, it's just Chapter. An indiscriminate chapter.
Yeah.
Either way, whatever it's called, the Neogenic Nightmare, Battle of the Insidious 6, we're here. So this is the second part of a to-be continued episode. When we last left Spider-Man, he was in the world's worst 7-way. He was about to have his ass kicked by his old enemies, and Chameleon was posing as his aunt, posing as an old witch. So that was a weird way to end the episode, but when we come back to this episode, we cut straight to Aunt May, who's being, like, informed by a nurse that, oh, Peter's gonna be fine. And initially I thought that this nurse had just been, like, roped into this massive charade that Dr. Octopus is going. But it sounds like it's the Chameleon who is just, like, switching between them?
Yeah, you should have guessed that this episode will shoehorn in Chameleon as much as possible, because every single person he could be, he turns into, including times when it's not actually that helpful. And we'll probably miss...
It's kind of pointless.
We'll probably miss some of them in our recap, because we'll just forget, because every time there's a secondary character in a scene, at the end of it, it was Chameleon, I guess.
Yeah, he's just there for some reason.
Also, I know that Johnson Jr. had this whole thing about how Chameleon wouldn't ever speak in his actual form, his true, bold, albino form, but it really gets, like, becomes weird in this episode, because he does loads of talking, but, like, you know, in the characters he's portraying, so you just realise, like, if he's being really expressive and shouting, and then it cuts, he transforms back to his true self,
he's just like...
and he's just stern and angry and no expression on his face, and you're like, this guy is like a proper introvert.
He's a method actor.
Yeah, and he can only express himself through these other things.
Yeah, he's like a tragic, like, Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, he's just so committed to the bit. It's really sad. But no, he takes him the Oscar for, like, Dr. Octavius as his nurse.
Yeah.
And we cut back to Spider-Man getting his ass kicked. So his powers are gone, so he's kind of, like, jogging around, trying to, like, not die.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because he's just sprinting everywhere and everyone's just trying to shoot him.
He's still doing pretty good.
Considering that, he's just some dude.
Well, I guess he's still, like, a buff dude.
Still, like, he's still a unit.
Yeah, he's still a unit, and he's got those, like, you know, big hams on him.
Yeah.
As we call them.
He's gone to the ham store.
I've never said that in my entire life, but I decided to pull out just for this podcast.
It was the perfect time. Yeah, so Peter Parker's gone to the ham store, and he's just throwing around all this pork.
This is nowhere near as funny as you think it is.
This is probably getting cut later on. So yeah, at one point it does a little flip, and I think, probably because of all the muscle. And yeah, at some point he kind of run past, like, a random crate, and all these, like, illusion boxes come out.
Yeah.
And Dr. Octopus is like to Mysterio, like, what are you doing, you child? Why are you leaving them out here?
Yeah, it's like, but it's not even that. It's like, I told you not to store them here.
He's like a parent talking to a child. It's hilarious.
Exactly, and it's just like...
Sorry, Dr. Octopus.
You can just imagine him coming in with his box of hollow cubes, and he's like, can I put it here? Just like, no. Put them...
Have a plan for your hologram cubes. It's your only gimmick.
My holo cubes! I told you to store them somewhere else.
This show is legit funny.
It's insanity.
So much of it is intentional, which is not what I expected.
Yeah. I was expecting lots of, like, unintentional, like, just, like, shitty cartoon humour, but, like, it's been genuinely funny in lots of places.
I don't really know how to describe it, but it's this specific kind of humour that I love, which makes you imagine the rest of the joke, if you know what I mean. They drop in just, like, a random detail, and then they move on, so that you're just thinking, like...
Hold on, what?
Yeah, like, with the hollow cubes, you're thinking there was a conversation at some point where Mysterio comes in, they all move into this warehouse with all their stuff, and then he's got his hollow cube box, and then Doc Ock is being like the irritated, exasperated father.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just great. There's loads of jokes like that in this, and it's always around Mysterio.
Do you think he's like, they had like dinners together beforehand, and they kind of like sat on the table, and Dr. Ross was like, let's say grace, and they all kind of held one of his like octopus hands.
You're gonna like destroy your iPad by trying to impersonate Dr. Octopus.
It'd be a noble way for this iPad to go.
Weird thing with all this Sinister 6 stuff, Insidious 6, is that so much of it is played for laughs. Like, I know they are still like formidable and everything, but there's way less emphasis put on how like scary a situation it is for Peter Parker, in as much as it's just about how these guys fuck up.
It's kind of like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but like Spider-Man, like on the other side.
Oh my god! Imagine if that was a TV show. Like Doc Ock is Dennis, and they have to run a bar, and like, you know, and they're trying to do all these schemes and stuff.
I would watch the shit out of that.
That would be amazing.
Come on, Disney Plus. That could be Disney Plus.
And like Eddie Brock is like a cricket, like with his life just becoming
slowly made worse. Who would Kingpin be?
Well, I don't know. that lawyer who always fucks them up.
Yeah.
No, anyway, like, this is not the Arrested Development podcast or the It's Always Sunny podcast. This is the
That 90s Spider-Man show.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the 90s Spider-Man show. At this point, like, one illusion cube goes off, and we're left in the jungle. Spider-Man, like, takes a moment to just kind of hide in the leaves, and Dr. Octopus is like, why are you being such a bitch? Because he's just, like, hiding in the leaves, and what he doesn't know is that his powers are gone. But everyone's kind of like, what the fuck's up with Spider-Man? At this point, like, this is when he gets attacked by all 6 members of the television network approved Insidious 6 in, like, animal-themed order. So he's, like, in the jungle, he's like, I'm getting attacked by a rhino, and a scorpion, and an octopus, and a chameleon, and they eventually capture him, and they're like, oh yeah, we've got Spider-Man now. We've got you now. They do the whole gloat thing of, like, we've got you now, Spider-Man. And this is when, like, Kingpin tunes in, and he's like, good job, guys. You did good. And they've got him on, like, one feed, and then, like, another feed comes in, and it's Silvermane.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, do you know that thing you told us we were going to do 2 days ago? Well, you've run out of time now. We're coming back to take over the board, and you're out now. And Kingpin's like, whoa. I got Spider-Man. And they kind of tap him into this main feed, where Spider-Man's squirming around, and Silvermane's like, yeah, great. And Kingpin's like, yeah, I got this. Guys, we're gonna take off his mask. So he kind of goes to Dr. Octopus, you do it. Because you know if he just said, like, let's take off his mask, they'd all fight over it. And he's like, I'm tired of all your shit.
Yeah.
So he goes to Octopus, this is your job. And he goes, he takes off his mask, and it's Peter Parker. And everyone's like, Spider-Man is Peter Parker? Like an episode of Scooby-Doo. Dr. Octopus is like, yes, I finally defeated Spider-Man. But this joy lasts for about 10 seconds, because Dr. Octopus, there's this weird kind of, like, his ego trip is going on. And he says all of his lines like he's kind of erect in a weird way. So he's like, no, Spider-Man was incredible. He was this amazing person. You're not Spider-Man. You must not be Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Yeah, so you're kind of shit.
It's the way he talks about it's kind of interesting because obviously the setup is that he's like, well, this Spider-Man was a punk and we kicked his ass. So this kind of being the actual Spider-Man, and obviously he wants to save his aunt, so he just came along dressed as Spider-Man, which we probably should have thought about.
That's kind of like the one downfall to your plan that you probably should have seen coming.
The interesting thing, though, is that got me thinking is when he says something like Spider-Man, he was almost undefeatable or something, and he's flashing back to this old fight he had. And my thought was like, it's actually kind of interesting from this angle, because if you're watching it where you're rooting for Spider-Man, as obviously you are, you know, unless you're like one of those weird internet people.
Like Barney Stinson.
If you're rooting for Spider-Man and you're just thinking about, oh no, Spider-Man's almost defeated, but he won at the end of the day, you know. Whereas from these guys' point of view, whenever they're doing shit and Spider-Man turns up, they're attacking him. Everything they're doing is missing him.
Yeah.
And they almost get a few hits in, or they get one hit in, but he always wins.
Yeah.
So you think from their point of view, even Doc Ock's point of view, it's just like, this guy shows up, he fucking owns us every time, you know? And you think it actually is kind of empowering to him in a weird way.
The self-doubt creeps in faster.
Yeah.
He's like, this can't be Spider-Man. And at this point, Peter's like, he's given up. And he takes it out. He sees it out and he takes it. He's like, yeah, I'm not Spider-Man. And it's great to see how quickly it turns. He kind of explains to him, yeah, like, you did it to save your Aunt May. And he's like, yeah, sure, definitely. The funniest thing about this is Silvermane is watching the entire thing. He's going, so you kidnapped an old lady and you strong-armed her nephew into rescuing her.
Yeah, it's actually, it's so funny because that's what we were saying last time. But, like, having a character actually spell out, and I'm going to put in a clip of him saying it because it's just great to hear.
It's really funny.
It seems my congratulations were premature, Kingpin. We crime lords asked you to destroy Spider-Man, and instead you kidnap an old lady and strong-arm her weak nephew. Pathetic.
You also think of it as well, like, if he's on this live feed and Kingpin's watching it as well, they didn't immediately catch him. He was running around and they were chasing after him for a while.
Just like him and Smythe, like, oh shit.
like
watching a bad sports game.
I hired 6 super-powered people and they struggled to take down just
a teenager in a Halloween costume.
Yeah, exactly.
God, he wasn't even like jumping, he was just running. They were like, shit. No, shoot where he's going to be, not where he is. Come on, Shocker. You got this. And yeah, it's really funny to just see their plan kind of come together in the way it was meant to come and get together, which was badly. Meanwhile, back at the warehouse, they kind of got Peter Parker in like a chair and they tied him up and they're like, you tricked us, you piece of shit kid. And Shock was about to shoot him. And as he goes to like shock him in the face and like shock him up, if you will, Dr. Octopus kind of like pushes his shocking thingy, so he kind of hits his chair. Peter falls out and takes a moment to kind of like
steal some of those hollow cubes.
Those like horribly misplaced Mysterio hollow cubes.
Oh my god, we found a new word you can't say.
Holocubes.
Is it just any word that starts with a H-O?
Yeah, I don't know. There's not many of them. There's holiday.
Say a Hobgoblin's hollow cubes.
Jesus Christ, man. You're trying to kill me.
Anyway,
Hobgoblin's holocubes.
I'm going to edit that out so that no one knows.
So he takes the cubes, he kind of stashes them in his pocket, and they realise we can still use them as leverage. So they take him into a hospital bed, and they kind of get Aunt May to go like, oh yeah, Peter's in bed now, he's fine. Chameleon's kind of like, yeah, we'll take best care of Peter, but she's like, he's like the nurse again. And
this is so humiliating for them because they make this scheme just to catch Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's like, presumably after that, like, oh fuck Peter Parker and Aunt May, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But then
they
now
have to
they're
keep
like,
this bit.
they're forced to keep acting.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid.
I would actually watch a movie of this, genuinely.
Yeah, if the Sinister Six movie, whenever that happens, doesn't do this exact plot, I'm gonna storm Disney headquarters. Join the other crowds of like 4 guys who are currently doing that over Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. Move over, Chewbacca. I've got real shit to deal with. So
It's not Chewbacca, it's just a hairy man who never doesn't have any friends.
Hey man, my doctor says a medical condition. Oh shit, sorry. So yeah, this bit continues, and Aunt May is kind of like reassured, and she goes away in a taxi, and we kind of see like the illusion kind of fade away. The derelict building we're in, like, they've been doing this whole plan kind of is revealed. And they tell Peter, like, okay, you gotta find a Spider-Man, we're gonna go back for her. Then, we go back to Silvermane, who is...
I think you missed out the most important part
of
that scene.
The most important of that scene. So, as this whole bit's going on and Aunt May leaves, we kind of center in this houseplant. And then, like, a puff of smoke comes up, and it's a Mysterio who's been disguising himself as a houseplant.
Which is a gif out there, and it's one of the world's best. It's just such an amazing image, and it didn't happen in Far From Home, and that's why storming Disney headquarters for 2 different reasons. You're gonna have two signs on carrying at the same time.
You're gonna let us swap between them and have a different chance for each one. You probably like delegate to somebody else that makes things easier. I don't know. But yeah, like the thing with Mysterio in this is like, if you have both Mysterio and the Chameleon in the same room, like, Chameleon's powers are way more useful. So Mysterio's just kind of, like, not really doing anything.
He could have been outside. There's this whole last 2 episodes. Chameleon and Mysterio are, like, useful in specific situations.
Yeah.
But they're constantly there when they don't have to be, because, obviously, you want them all to be there as much as often. Which I'm glad they are, but it's like they're always, like... constantly just finding stuff to do. It's like Chameleon, like when he turns into that homeless man last one, it's just like fuck it, I guess I'll do this.
Yeah.
And here it's like Mysterio's like, well, I gotta be in a room, I'll turn into a plant. And
I'm in this too, guys. I'm part of the Insidious 6. I'm gonna be Insidious. I'm with this Insidious fern.
Oh, it's so good. And he's just insisted on being a part of this.
Dr. Octopus is like, get the fuck out of here, what are you doing?
Doc Ock is like, no one else needs to be here apart from me. I'm the only one who actually is forced to be here.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone else is coming in, and he's just like, the only reason we can't have the others in this because they've got full body suits that are really hard to hide.
Aunt May will probably go with it. She'll be like, what kind of new doctor outfit is it?
I'd love it if the end of this scene, like, Rhino comes in, like, oh, I'm a man wearing a rhino suit. This is a skin condition. I'm sorry.
That poor man.
Anyway, let's move on.
She's so fucking dumb. Anyway, Silvermane. So Mysterio's a houseplant, and Silvermane is pissed because of that whole debacle. He kind of goes to Hammerhead, like, we move on Kingpin's whole empire, we're taking him down. But Kingpin's having none of this shit, and he realizes, oh shit, I've got 6 of these villains I can use, and they're probably not gonna fuck up as badly this time. So they kind of like all scramble into this helicopter apart from Rhino. and they kind of fly over to Silvermane's building, but Rhino's like on a pulley system, just like dangling off.
This is the fucking best thing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and I think you think it's dumber than I think it is, because I think it's actually a good idea.
It's a terrible idea.
He's like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, but
it's a wrecking ball with arms and legs who can detach and keep running. Like, if you want to attack someone on like the 30th floor or whatever, who else are you going to put on a rope and swing around in like a big baby carrier?
A naked Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, maybe, but she would hit that window and die. So you put in also he's dumb, so it's just like you just need him to like smash it up so the rest of them can jump in.
But have you tried riding a bike with a backpack on and like going around a corner and then like the weight of the backpack kind of almost throws you off the bike?
Such a specific situation.
But it's just kind of the same thing where like you can't fly a helicopter with a giant Rhino man attached to the pulley.
Has that actually happened to you, that bike situation?
Yeah.
I feel like that only works when you're like 12 years old, when you got like those gigantic bags, those kids, it's the same size as them.
Yeah, it's like that.
Any of you 12-year-olds out there, when you're cycling around a corner 30 miles an hour with a backpack on.
It's like that same principle, but with a Rhino man on the back of your helicopter.
But if they fall off the bike, in this metaphor, it's also a success.
Yeah.
Like, if he misses, then they're like,
yeah, I guess he's dead now.
He's just this big bulking thing. Who cares?
It's like the chase scene in like Fast 5 or something.
Yeah, it's like the anything in the Fast and the Furious series, which are usually a team of around about 6 people.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, well, that's what they should be.
Vin Diesel as Rhino.
That's actually really good. That's really good.
Oh god.
I do, but like specifically how the costume looks in this show, where he's got the circle cut out of the Rhino, so it's just Vin Diesel's head. I'm gonna Photoshop that later.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's gonna.
I'm the Rhino.
I'm gonna Photoshop that and I'm gonna put it on Twitter.
Who would Tyrese be?
Probably Scorpion, because everyone's talking shit about him.
Okay.
Paul Walker is
Dr. Octopus
because he's the serious one, and who's the lamest? Like,
I would say probably Tyrese as well.
Oh, he can't be Shocker and Scorpion.
I don't know.
Who
is Mysterio in the situation?
Yeah, Mysterio is ludicrous.
Oh my god, what's that?
Yeah, and then Shocker can be what's her name? Michelle Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, yeah.
I've forgotten. Lenny.
Yeah. Letty.
Lenny. Letty. It can be her because they're both very serious people.
Yeah.
And then who else is there?
You've got Chameleon.
I
feel that might be what's it called?
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham. And then Kingpin's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, because he kind of is the Kingpin of that situation.
Yeah.
Who's the last one? Did we do them all?
Are there 6 of them?
No, there's way more than 6 because they keep dying. I mean, in the Insidious 6.
In 6.
We're missing one, are we?
Fuck, who's the 6th one?
Anyway, yeah, let's keep going because there's so much in this episode that happened. Like,
let's move on from the Fast and the Insidious.
Yeah, we're for anyone listening at home, we're 10 seconds into the episode. There's a million things happening at once.
Yeah, this shit is going down. So yeah, they kind of hatch this plan to catch Silvermane and kidnap him.
Yeah, he smashes in.
Rhino comes in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
Just blows a hole in this building. And effectively what happens is they kind of combine their powers and kidnap Silvermane.
Which ends with them stealing the elevator that Silvermane was in.
It's a terribly inefficient plan.
Well, it's really efficient if they knew exactly what was going to happen at all times.
Yeah.
But then at the end, they do the nice little, which I thought was kind of cool, which is right before they take, right as they take Silvermane, Chameleon jumps out, turns into Silvermane's like, call off the attack on Kingpin, he's too powerful.
Which is like a Steven Soderbergh thing to do.
Yeah, but then it is very...
Yeah.
See, again, why is there not a fucking Sinister 6 movie, which is just Ocean's 6?
Yeah.
Fucking...
We have Ocean's 8, why not Ocean's 6?
There's $1 billion. They got to do that once they introduce all these villains. But anyway, that's...
Or like a Now You See Me with like the Insidious 6.
Why did you pick a shit Ocean's 11? Yeah, it's like the shit version of what you just said. Fuck Now You See Me. And Now You See Me Too, which should have been called Now You Don't.
Now You Don't. But I don't think people have got it. People have been too stupid to have gotten that. God. But to be fair, isn't like the Ocean's 11 kind of like a shit version of Fast 5?
I feel like you think that's going to make me mad, but I like the Fast and Furious series, even though it's kind of bad.
It is kind of bad. But so is Ocean's 12 is kind of bad, but yeah.
I haven't seen 12 or 13 since the cinema, and I can't remember them at all.
Ocean's 12 has this plot where, like, they kind of sneak Julia Roberts' character in. Kind of use this whole plot device where, like, she looks like Julia Roberts.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck you.
That's the only bit I remember from that movie. But I'd like to rewatch it, because Ocean's 11, I think, still kicks ass.
Yeah, it's still pretty cool.
There's a scene where Brad Pitt says nothing, and it's just George Clooney talking to himself for, like, a full minute, and it's, like, the best scene in cinema history. No exaggeration.
Big claim.
Yeah.
I kind of endorse it.
Silvermane, so glad you could join us.
At this point,
they fly off with Silvermane.
Then they hand Peter one of their trench coats. They've just got lying around. Like, I think Kingpin's smuggling trench coats because they have so fucking many.
It's amazing. He joins the trench coat club.
Yeah.
Right. It's so good because you don't see him because Scorpion never puts his trench coat back on.
No.
But you get Doc Ock and Peter walking around both in trench coats, the same trench coat.
Yeah.
It's almost like whoever made this episode is making fun of whoever made the last episode. They're like, you thought trench coats were cool, so we're gonna like make them look stupider.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It was a dumb idea and make it just hilariously dumb.
This show, I want to say at this point, it's got this weird level where I feel like they're at this perfect level of dumbness where they are self-aware enough to lean into the insanity and make it really fun.
Yeah.
But they're not so self-aware that it's like eye-rolling, like they're making loads of meta jokes and
it's like a Sharknado kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not like they're trying so hard for it. They are actually trying to be good, but then they're like, whenever something's silly, they're just like,
oh, this is dumb.
Yeah, they just lean into it a little bit. Like they're just like, oh, here's some dumb fun stuff. It's like they knew that two guys were going to make a podcast about it in 25 years.
Yeah. Like, it's an incredible, like, foresight from the creators of Spider-Man the Animated Series. And wherever you guys are, if you're listening to this, but you are, thank you. Yeah. But anyway, Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus kind of like hang out in these trench coats and they head to this like elevator. They go up the elevator and they're like, well, yeah, so this is where you meet Spider-Man, right? Octopus says to Peter, and he's like, yeah, this is where I meet him. On this big building where you can see me because that's how we communicate. And he's like, why would he even want to talk to you?
Which is a great question to be asking way too late.
Yeah.
By the way, why does he give a fuck?
Was that the whole thing your plan was based on?
It does end up Peter giving the answer, which is like very much like the go-to answer that happens in the comics a lot, of like him having to kind of, in the same way that him being Spider-Man makes Peter Parker look bad because he's always late.
Yeah.
Peter Parker makes Spider-Man looks bad because if he has to explain why he's taking photos of him, he's like, he gets out of it by being like, Spider-Man loves the limelight. He wants to be in photos. He wants his rep to be up. So he makes him sound like a huge asshole.
Huge narcissist.
Yeah, and it's almost like they both end up losing out on it, which is a funny situation.
It's such a weird thing for yourself to do in a situation as Peter Parker where you're like, how bad do I hate myself?
Yeah, but also it's like, it's almost better to lean into that because if it makes him look shittier, then it sounds more like a secret someone would actually keep, as opposed to like, so it's going to trick people better, and people are going to like not actually think about his true identity.
I'm pretty sure, like, even if he was like fully powered, no one would believe Peter Parker is Spider. I genuinely believe that. They'll talk themselves out of it every time. Yeah,
but also, I don't know, there's a conspiracy theory edge to people where like it wouldn't take much for someone to posit that theory and then people to jump on it. Maybe that's just the internet now, but
it was like just like an Infowars episode where,
yeah,
like,
Reddit
Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Reddit would figure out who Spider-Man is in 8 minutes.
Probably 7.5. But yeah, so they get up to the building and they're top of the building and they're like, yeah, this is where Spider-Man's gonna meet me. And Peter Parker kind of points out, so he's not gonna come with you or just standing on the rooftop. And Mysterio is like, don't worry guys, I got this.
Fucking love Mysterio so
he
much.
just turns everyone into like the same generator.
It's like a specific like skyscraper rooftop fan.
Yeah.
And they're all like angled differently, so they're all pointing the direction the person was faced, so it looks like no setup on any building that's ever existed.
Yeah, Spider-Man's just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's just a series of building fans. What's not to like be suspicious of? So this is where Peter kind of like puts into action his plan. So taking one of the hollow cubes, he kind of throws one on the ground to make a distraction. A helicopter comes out, I think, And he goes, look over there, and he just pegs it.
He could have done this at any point. I don't know why he had to do it on a rooftop.
I guess.
Especially he doesn't know he has his powers back.
I'm pretty sure he's making up on the spot.
Yeah. But he could have just thrown it out in the hallway of this hotel. Oh, actually, that would have caused, like, a lot of chaos.
A lot of people probably would have died.
Yeah.
But this way, yeah, like, most people don't die. So he started running away. Rhino kind of follows him. He throws another one down. He kind of goes this valley. And the Rhino just, like, freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, he thinks he's going to fall down this, like, bottomless pit. Even though
he's on a rooftop.
He knows that there's hollow cubes in play. And there's this great shot of him when the hollow cube fades and he's, like
flailing
around on his belly.
Like a
baby. He's like a baby.
It's like a turtle, like, on his, his shell.
He is a big baby because you think
like a giant muscular baby.
He was carried around in
like a little baby harness.
The baby carrier, like when he was swinging around. Yeah. You know, he is a baby. He's
got the mental capacity of one.
Yeah, he's just hard.
He's just a hard baby.
Yeah, he's proper hard.
He's an hard baby.
Yeah.
He's an odd little babe.
He's like if Jason Statham was a baby.
That's what Dominic Toretto is. Like, Vin Diesel's just turned into a giant baby.
He is Dominic Toretto. He's literally Dominic Toretto.
So anyway, the Fast and the Insidious, man.
We're asking for it. Well, there you go. Careful. Henry's laughing so much he dropped his iPad.
I caught it, though.
Which is
it's not a cheap piece of equipment.
First world problem. You know, when you laugh so hard you drop your iPad.
Sorry, kids in Ethiopia, I'm really suffering over here. Anyway, so Spider-Man's like jumps off this roof, and as he's getting to the edge, he kind of yells out, "Spider-Man, look out!" And Shocko just shocks him in the back. As he's falling to like his death, you assume, but he kind of notes like, "Shit, that should have killed me," unless, and he realizes his spider powers are back.
So, or temporarily, anyway.
Yeah, he kind of puts his mask back on. He kind of clicks into a wall, and he's like, "Oh shit, not really." Almost falls off it, and he's like, "I had like half powers here. I'm like half back ready to go. It's gonna have to be enough." Back in the helicopter, we've got Kingpin and Silvermane, who are like just talking shit with each other, and they're going like, "Yeah, fuck you," and Kingpin's like, "No, fuck you." And eventually, what he does, he just like attaches him to a pulley and throws him off the helicopter.
Yeah, at this point, Kingpin just loves that pulley system because he's using it way too often.
I bet it was his idea.
Yeah.
Because that's how he usually gets around, but he's like...
Also, at this point, it's becoming more and more funny that Spider-Man doesn't know that Wilson Fisk is behind any of this, because he's literally on a helicopter. And I think at some point, like, Peter, like, looks up and he's like, "Oh, they're all speaking to someone. I wonder who this is. I wonder who's in that helicopter. I wonder who's their leader." And he's just... Kingpin's like in the window, like swinging the guy around, like he's asking for it.
And it's not like he's like a inconspicuous guy. It's like this giant meatball of a human.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Around. If you just see like this giant attack helicopter swinging an old man around, you're like, "Oh, there's Donald Trump just in the pilot seat."
Yeah. I wonder who's behind this. Must be Hillary.
Yeah. Those emails there.
Those emails there. Somehow Antifa were involved. So yeah, Spider-Man like notices like Silvermane's dangle, and he goes, swings over, and he like unattaches him. And Kingpin's like, "Spider-Man and Silvermane together?"
Real leap of logic to think that they're allies. Yeah. It's weird.
Saving this man from death must mean they're best friends now. So yeah, they kind of escape together. Swings over, and he kind of like swings into the building, but he doesn't quite stick the landing because his powers are kind of like waning. And he just brushes off. He's like, "Yeah, this is cool. I'm fine." He's like, "Yeah, just hang about. I'm gonna fuck with some like dumbasses," and that's what he does. So Spider-Man just rolls over, and his plan goes badly initially because he runs straight into the Rhino, who is like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And Spider-Man's like, "I'm not Spider-Man. I'm the Chameleon, pretending to be Spider-Man." Now that's Spider-Man over there, and he points to like
some silhouettes.
So he's like, and Rhino, without a moment's hesitation, just attacks. Yeah. He can't even see who he's attacking.
It's so good though because
it's amazing.
Because also seeing how Chameleon has used all kinds of variations on these tricks to fuck with other people, especially in his own episode at the end of last season. Yeah. So like having Spider-Man use that on him, and then of course after that, Rhino he damages Shocker's suit, so that's fucked up. And then he sees Chameleon, and then he's like, "What the fuck?" Chameleon starts like, "Why'd you try and like make me look like an asshole?" And starts hitting on him.
Yeah.
Hitting on him. Starts hitting him.
Not gonna make. What do you mean an asshole? You beautiful man.
It's fun seeing him sort of think his way out of this, rather knowing that he can't actually fight.
Yeah. It's actually watch him like improvise his way out.
But also, again, makes them look more ridiculous because this is a guy basically without any powers who's just overpowering them by like preying on their very clear insecurities and ego issues.
If I was Kingpin, I'd be like, I wasted so much money.
Yeah.
On these
I should have done 5 of them.
Yeah. I think 6 was the magic number. I think 6 was excessive.
Yeah.
Yeah. My invoices will be off the charts this month.
You need to get down the voice of the Kingpin in this show because he has such a good voice, and anyone who can't remember it's only going to be thinking of D'Onofrio.
I'm always thinking of D'Onofrio, even as I'm watching the other one.
But this is a magical Kingpin that's separate.
You know, I'll practice.
Yeah, please do. It's amazing, very hard to do, I think.
The crime lords are going to hit me, but I will hit them first. And thanks to my Insidious 6, I will hit them harder. Now pay attention, all of you.
I wish I knew who they're listening to on those headsets.
So as Silvermane and Spider-Man are kind of like creeping around, Spider-Man's spider sense goes off. And he's almost too busy to talking about it that he forgets to like actually react to the danger. He's like, my spider sense is going off. That means my power's back. And you just see this arm kind of swing into the frame. And he's like, oh shit. And he jumps up and he webs like Silvermane to the top of the ceiling. And he's like, just wait here for a second. I'm going to go kick some ass. And at this point, he kind of webs up Dr. Octopus and just chucks him across the room.
Yeah.
It was really funny because he just like, it goes down like a sack of potatoes. It's amazing. And then he kind of takes Silvermane and like abseils down the building.
Yeah.
Which is a great
Which
visual.
he keeps doing that this episode, which is quite funny because, I mean, it makes sense. That's exactly what you do when you can't actually have the strength to swing around properly.
You kind of just like abseil down like a bad like rock climbing class. And then like Dr. Octopus is like gets off the ground and is like, Shocker, go like find him. And again, Shocker goes to a window and he opens it. And it's this proper like Splinter Cell like Hitman moment where he kind of grabs him out of the window and shocks him out of the building.
Takedown.
Yeah.
And he just throws. At first, I was like, did he just throw him off a skyscraper? Just murder Shocker? But
he just throws him into like a water tower.
Yeah, and then his suit's ripped, so
it gets all wet
and starts sparking up. I mean, he explodes. And at first, I was like, "Oh, he just exploded."
He just died.
But nope, he jumps out in his underwear.
He just like strips naked as fast as like I've ever seen anyone strip naked. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna die." You kind of see like this explosion and this little like naked man like flying out of it.
I think his suit is like one of those stripper suits where you can just like rip them off in one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that for a second. Shocking can't make all the money. He's got to strip as well. Please welcome the Shocker.
Why is this strip club got the fucking let's get ready to rumble guy?
He has to make rent. Let's get ready to rumble.
I'd watch that Magic Mike.
That'd be incredible. But no, yeah, Shocker like jumps naked out of his water tower. I think he just jumps off a building, right? I think is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
He just died.
Anyway, moving on.
He moves right on. But yeah, so Spider-Man kind of lowers Silvermane into this chimney. He's like, yeah, just if you say ho 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 a lot of times, it should be fine, right? And then we kind of get the final showdown, which is Scorpion and Doc Ock versus Spider-Man. And Spider-Man realizes that actually I can't fight these guys in my current like predicament.
Well, because they're out of everyone, those are the two people who physically have outmatched him the most, probably.
Yeah.
Apart from maybe Venom.
Yeah. You kind of realize they both hate each other as much as they hate Spider-Man. And it takes like 0.2 seconds for them to start like yelling at each other.
Yeah, and then Spider-Man just like jumps around like adding fuel to the fire.
Just shit stirs.
Yeah, and he does. I love the moment where he kind of, I can't remember what exactly he says to Scorpion, but like, are you going to take that from him or something like that? And there's this great moment where like Scorpion kind of looks to him. It's so obvious that Spider-Man's sort of playing with him, but he almost doesn't care. He's like,
I can't let this go.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you're right. This guy is being more of an asshole to me than you are right now, so fuck him.
I'm angry at you that Dr. Octopus and the Scorpion have like a rivalry like all the way through like the last episode as well.
Yeah.
This is like animosity between them. And then Spider-Man just plays it up. And is like, I see what you're doing, but fuck that dude. And they have this fight. One of Ock's arms gets like melted by Scorpion's acid. Kingpin's like helicopter gets damaged. And they have to like spiral back to HQ.
Yeah, while Kingpin's like, no, I want to hit the ground and explode.
Spider-Man escapes to the ground floor. While they're fighting, he kind of just pegs it. He's like, I'm out. And he meets like Silvermane at the bottom. And apparently what's happened as he's been lowered into this building is he's gone to this random house and there were just these 2 children there.
They think that he was Santa Claus.
Which is the craziest part of all this. Like, in reality, Silvermane's getting arrested. He's getting, like, tasered and arrested, but he just walks out of this building.
A kid isn't gonna tase him and arrest him. They're gonna
call the police, at least.
Like,
stranger danger, man.
Yeah, it's the 90s though.
That's like peak stranger danger. That's like post stranger danger. That's like,
yeah, I don't know. If a old man came down my chimney when I was a kid and it was near Christmas and I thought it was going to be Christmas,
you don't know if it's near Christmas. It's like mid-October. If it's the start of like a season of TV, it's gonna be like September or October.
I didn't think that you'd be doing this level of thinking about this.
It's definitely gotta be. Like,
no, don't look it up.
Okay, no. Sorry, up. This episode ends September 16th, 1995.
Okay.
There's no reason for them to think it's Christmas.
At the risk of having a conversation about the dumbest thing in the world, the actual dumbest thing in the world, air date doesn't mean the same as the canonical date within the show.
But there's no reason to believe it's Christmas.
What?
There's no Christmas, like, decorations around. He's just, like, there. Also, Santa doesn't dress in a fucking grey suit.
Maybe he does in the 90s because he
it's
needed
like business Santa.
He needed to, like, you know, late capitalism. I've got, like
a yuppie Santa or something.
Yeah.
He's gonna, like, buy that 4th mortgage. But yeah, so Silvermane is Santa. And he kind of, like, walks off, like, thanks, Spider-Man, like, all this shit. He runs straight to a payphone and he's like, guys, we're gonna fuck up Kingpin. I'm gonna get that son of a bitch. Back at Crime Central, Smythe is pretty much like, yeah, like, you've dug yourself a hole. And Smythe is being particularly bitchy through this entire episode.
He's still there. He's just basically...
He's just smirking and talking
shit. He's just being Kingpin's PA at this point. He was meant to kill Spider-Man to get a lab, and now he's just, like, hates his job, and he's just getting some little barbs here and there.
It's like April Ludgate or something, or, like, that, like, sassy gay friend in a rom-com. He's just talking shit without really saying much of a purpose.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, like, you're pretty fucked now, aren't you, Kingpin? And Kingpin's like, no, there's Silvermane that is fucked, because I'll put him in that...
Yeah, he calls it a temporary setback, right?
Yeah.
But never has anyone been so thoroughly owned as Kingpin in this 2-parter.
Yeah.
This was, from start to finish, a complete debacle. It starts with everyone saying, you're terrible at being a Kingpin of crime. And then he goes, no, I'm not.
I got this plan.
And then he spends loads of money hiring all these weird assholes who kidnap an old woman, beat up a 16-year-old boy, or however old he is, 18-year-old boy, and then proceeds to just cause havoc
and kidnap the people like he's meant to be subterfuging or whatever,
and then
lets them go,
effectively, like, destroys his own equipment.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's like, normally it's like, oh, the Kingpin's always going to get away, like these Saturday morning cartoon villains are always going to get away, and the hero's like, he wins the battle, but he's like, oh, evil is still around. But like, no, Kingpin got fucking owned. He's done.
He looks like such an asshole. It's great.
It's embarrassing.
It's
this is the opposite of in the comics, where he's always like coming up. Yeah, he's always coming away with like more power, and it's like, oh, you bastard. But then here it's just like, wow.
No, how did you become like the crime lord? You're terrible at this.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, Kingpin like doesn't realize he's fucked, and he kind of goes to Sinister 6 like, guys, we've got more plans, and they're like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
It goes like full Amanda Waller on them, and they're like, you know what? Take it off the headset. They kind of like smash the headsets,
and the boy band breaks up.
Yeah. They go off to do like solo albums.
Yeah, they go off doing their own spin-off movies like Hobbs and Shaw.
Scorpion and Octopus.
Wait, no, who is Hobbs and Shaw? We said that's Chameleon and Kingpin.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That'd be a terrible movie, but I would watch it. So they just kind of part ways, and like, this was a terrible idea, we should never do this again. Pretty much. So Peter's like walking around, he had the romance cue they got going on, he sees Felicia, he's like, oh, Felicia, what's going on?
Yeah, 2 days late to his fucking date at this point.
2 days late to his date, and she's like, yeah, thanks for showing up, asshole. To be fair, like, she knows he went missing for 2 days, right? She knew that.
I don't think she would care if she did knew, and she probably wasn't listening. But
yeah.
She's now with Michael Morbius, who continues to be smarmy.
He's like covered in grease. It's really just awkward to watch him.
Yeah, he slides away in a puddle of grease.
Yeah. He kind of mentions that, yeah, I went to dinner with Felicia. I got dinner with her all week. And it's like, hold on, you're going too fast at that point. That's a lot of dinners to be having.
It just sounds like he's just living at her house at this point.
Yeah. Can you give me a place to stay? I don't actually have anywhere to live. I love you, Felicia. Oh, hi, Peter. Did you hear that I love Felicia so much? We kind of miss the extended scene when they play football together, but yeah, they kind of like walk off together, and you know they're going to be banging for like 20 minutes at a time.
What? I don't know that like let's get to the end of this episode and you're like going off on more weird tangents. What? This was like 10 seconds of dialogue. We've been on it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, we should probably move on. Peter Parker kind of trudges home to his Aunt May, who's really excited to see him, and it turns out that Mary Jane was there. And he's like, "Oh, were you worried about me?" And she makes a joke about being worried about Aunt May, and she just leaves the house. She's
she
gone.
literally just makes like a "oh, I wasn't here for you" sort of gag, and then winks, and then just
leaves.
walks away.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of that?
Yeah. Oh,
I guess
you're
it's
back.
more of that thing of like her still being there, like but your true love interest is still around, but I'm not properly your girlfriend yet, so bye.
So see ya.
We'll see you in season 3, maybe.
Maybe not even that. I don't know how this fucking order's gonna go.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a happy ending. Almost. Kind of not really.
Was that the last scene?
No, there's one more scene. So we're in Dr. Connor's lab. And Spider-Man's like, yeah, my powers are back. I'm great. And Dr. Connor's is like, no. And he kind of shows him his DNA, and it's like, you're mutating at a very large rate. Spider-Man's like, what's happening to me? And Dr. Connor says, I don't know. But whatever you mutate into, it won't be human. And it should be to continue, but it's not. It kind of zooms in like Spider-Man's like shocked mask face, like, not human.
And then we'll see some more bullshit with neogenics next week.
Mutagenics, not neogenics.
Well, it's same thing.
Not really, though.
The beginning of what?
You're still changing, and it's accelerating. So while I can't tell you exactly what your DNA is transforming you into, one thing's already clear. It won't be human.
What do you think of this episode?
This might be a bold statement. Maybe my favourite episode of the show so far.
I'm kind of digging that. Yeah. Like,
Are we ever going to have a different opinion on it? We like all the same episodes at this point.
I think I hate the Hobgoblin episodes more than you do.
Yeah, but I didn't like them that much, so...
I think you yeah.
I just like Mark Hamill. Yeah, this one is just great, because I was worried that with the way it went down last time is that we were going to get a Hobgoblin Part 2 sort of situation where they're just resolving it, and it's just not that interesting. But this, they just... And I knew I would love it when... just midway through, maybe not even midway through the episode, Kingpin's like, okay, I'm going to assemble the Sinister Six to fuck up Silvermane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a new plot line, basically, that I would expect to happen later in the season or something. But like, fuck it, let's just throw it in here. And it's like, I love that. Again, it was just that extra level of like, how much can we fit into one episode? And it was a lot of fun. It was very funny.
It's very funny.
I loved it. They made a great use of all the different villains. Obviously,
well,
like
almost all of them. Like, Mysterio was wasted. He didn't have anything to fucking do.
Well, you say that, but like Mysterio was used exactly how he should have been, which is like he created like a few holograms for them to make the fights more interesting, and then he was there for gags, and that's all you really need him for, because the actual conflict is too much to spread between that many villains.
All of his like illusions are accidental and screw them over in the end.
Yeah, apart from the jungle one, which was alright.
That was an accident as well.
Yeah, but it was still fine.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think that was on purpose, wasn't it?
Well, it was like that point where he kind of spills them, remember? I think one of them goes off.
Right.
And that's when Spider-Man hides away, because I don't think they actually intended to do anything. I think he just had this whole box, he just didn't get to use them, because Dr. Octopus wouldn't let him. What I will say, based on these 2 episodes of Season 2, I think the storytelling's a lot tighter. I think a lot of Season 1 is a lot of like the standalone episodes, whereas I feel already there's this like, kind of overarching storyline that's happening around the central plot stuff.
Sometimes that stuff can bother me when, especially in modern television, where it's like nothing is ever resolved, everything is a part something of something, so that you're never actually getting its own episode. And while this was a part 2, it's part of this neogenic thing, which is clearly an ongoing plot line, but it's just enough where like everything is resolved, but there's just this thing of like something else is going to happen, I wonder what, but it doesn't really fuck with the flow.
Yeah.
And
there's like a beginning and middle and end of an episode, but it's kind of building towards something better.
Yeah, and it's not even like they're holding back on anything, because they're just like, let's just like get all this like Insidious 6 stuff we want to do out right now.
And it's all kind of like natural, yeah.
It always sticks with me when I remember hearing something about like Christopher Nolan talking about how he made the Batman movies.
Yeah.
And he was like, there was never, I mean, I think this is more with the first two, but he was like, there was never a feeling of like holding back, of like, we'll save this for next one. They just, every single time they're like, that when they made Batman Begins, they're like, we're going to focus on these. Let's do everything we ever want to do in a Batman movie in this Batman movie. They did it. They made a Batman movie. It was, apart from that like tease at the end, it was just solid story about a guy called Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with The Dark Knight, and I think it's a really good attitude to have that not enough people have in any kind of serial story.
It's kind of like a network thing. Like Breaking Bad does it really well.
Yeah.
Like Breaking Bad, every season they write themselves into a corner apparently. And like, they come back and be like, okay, how are we going to write ourselves out of this corner?
Yeah, and it's weird as well, because Breaking Bad has like the best cliffhangers of like any show, yet they're not hung up on them too much.
No. Yeah, like we'll just figure a way how to get out of this later on, but they kind
of
write them as if the show's going to end that season.
Yeah, and it's just like there's something about like, I don't know, about those episodes still having the cliffhangers like this show has, just still having the cliffhangers, but then just giving you enough satisfaction. So the thing that's lingering at the end is there's more plot stuff that will happen, you know?
But the actual episode itself is resolved.
The thing about him losing his powers is resolved. The thing about him like having the date with Felicia, Aunt May being worried about him, Kingpin's, you know, trying to get those 6 people to work together, all that stuff is resolved. It's just, we might do something with this plot thread later, which is enough, you know, that's fine.
And like those little like plot threads have consequences and like effects you can see kind of shaping up later. It kind of reminds me of the first season of Daredevil a little bit, in the sense that like you had like a story of the week, you had like a Matt Murdock thing and a Daredevil thing, but there was shit going on in the background. It's not as like interwoven as this is. But yeah, I kind of get what you mean, but also I feel like Daredevil had literally the opportunity to be a procedural where every week was a different villain or every week was a different court case, and he like fucking was never in court in that season, and he never. The first season he was in court sometimes.
Was he?
I mean, more than season 2.
I
think he's in the first season. He's in court the most.
I'm pretty sure over the Netflix series he went to court once about the Punisher, and then got disbarred.
Yeah, that's season 2. He's fuck like, you guys.
There was like 90% of that show. Their law office is just Karen Page, who just has demand phones, and she's like, no, I'm just going to leave my desk and then do detective work.
Because nobody fucking calls.
And everyone's like, I'm still mad that Karen Page was the worst fucking PA, secretary, law assistant, whatever her title was. She was the worst. She never did a fucking job in that show. Yeah. And then
she just walks into a journalist.
And then the fucking thing got shut down, and she goes, "Oh, I guess I'll have this journalist office because he died and I was his friend, kind of. I was his friend for like a week."
Do you know how fucking hard it is to get into journalism?
Man, that made me so mad that I ruined the character for life. She had like a really like emotional episode about her in like season 3, and I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, fuck you.
I don't give a shit.
Well, you cry about it in your like £30,000 a year journalism job you just walked into with no qualifications.
Most journalists don't even have a fucking office anyway. Yeah. She gets her own office.
She's not even like a mid-level journalist. She's like proper like journalist. She's working in a newspaper. She's writing features and like, shit.
Yeah, and then in season...
Do you know how long it takes for journalists to get to that point in their careers?
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you're following up on those leads," and she's like googling like, you know, what is a lead? Like, she's just like, they make her look so stupid in that show. It makes me really mad.
It's frustrating as hell.
Anyway,
and her story's pretty tragic. Be like, no, fuck this person.
There's a lot I like in that show, but there's so many like small things in it that just make it too annoying.
Like the ending of season 3, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a bad example to choose because you chose the show where it takes them 13 hours to do like an hour's worth of television.
A bit like our podcast.
Oh yeah. We hit 13 hours yet on this episode.
I mean, another like 20 minutes or so. We should be. Yeah,
I really can't talk shit when this is longer than a Netflix episode.
This is like an episode and a half now.
Anyway, speaking of going on too long, we spoke about Sinister 6 last week. Their origins in the comics, which of course inspired a lot of this. In terms of origins this week, I would say that in The Amazing Spider-Man 12, there is an issue where Doc Ock unmasks Spider-Man. He's really sick, so his powers are kind of shit. He gets his ass kicked really easily. When he unmasks him, everyone just assumes that Peter Parker dressed up to fight him because Doc Ock's like, I could never be beaten by a kid.
Yeah.
You know, which is
He ego trips again.
Yeah, which is kind of exactly what happens here, which is another way which they've kind of like subtly adapted something, which I think is quite fun.
Yeah.
I was going to get more into the detail on what is the next time that the Sinister Six arrive in the comics, but I think I'll just skim through it because a lot of shit happens. We'll touch on a few things.
Excellent.
Because initially, Sinister Six turn up in the Amazing Spider-Man Annual 1, which we talked about last week. Check that episode out if you, for some reason, started with this episode.
Terrible idea. Why would you do that? But
the return of the Sinister Six happens in the Amazing Spider-Man 334.
Jesus.
So it took them a while. It took them like almost 30 years to turn up again. Obviously, individually, all these villains have turned up again and again.
But like bring them together. And
it's not just 334. It's issue 334 through to 339.
Fuck.
So this is a lot of comic book.
It's a Sinister Six issues.
Well, effectively, what you got is several issues, which is Spider-Man has some encounter, but also during that issue, a member of the Sinister Six will be recruited. So it's kind of cool. It's like he's like doing the Ocean's 11 thing, like going through and like picking up one guy, picking up another guy.
This is a Rhino just like in like this like children's birthday party. He's like, I'm in. But, no man, I told you I'm out of the Sinister business, but we can give you like a good like Spider-Man revenge. And he's like, where do I sign?
Basically, like, you're making fun of it. You keep doing this. You're making fun of things by saying exactly what I'm about to say. Which is why you'd be a good comic book writer, probably.
Yeah.
But basically, like, for instance, in the first one of these, you got Electro. He's trying to steal this superconductor to power himself up.
Yeah.
Spider-Man intervenes. Then Doc Ock turns up and he's like, yo, I know that you love powering yourself up, so I made up that rumor that there was a superconductor here. Do you want to come with me in my hover car?
Yeah.
Well, not hover car, is like hover transport ship thing. And then they kind of kick Spider-Man's ass and get away. Then Doc Ock goes to Brooklyn where he finds Sandman. And this is, I mean, we'll get into this more one day when we go into Sandman Origins. But this is kind of why Sandman is great, because Sandman is retired from crime. And he's just living in Brooklyn, like, with two lodgers under the false name Sylvester Man.
Yeah.
S-Man.
Yeah. I told you guys I'm out the game.
Yeah, and exactly, and he's just like studying. He's just like trying to get a degree or something, like that degree he tried to get in his first comic.
He's trying to go legit.
He is, and then Dr. Octopus is a complete bastard. You know? I'll say one thing. I'll include this in our show notes, which will be on the blog, which will be in the description. But this is what he looks like in this design. You know,
that's fantastic.
He's in like he's got his.
He's
black
like pimping.
He's got like Ray-Bans on now. He's got a white and black suit. It's pretty good.
He looks like he was on Queer for the Straight Guy. Like,
it's a very like Miami coke dealer vibe, actually. I'd say. But anyway, he says, "All right, go in your house. There's a package addressed to you." And then he goes in, and then he opens it, and he's like, "Oh, it's a bomb." And then he's like, look how easy it was to have a bomb delivered to your house. If you don't want the couple in this house to be hurt, you'll work with me. And Sandman's like, fuck, okay, I'll do this one job.
Asshole.
He's such a... Because this is Sandman, he's legit. He's fine now. He's given up
out.
crime.
He's done. He didn't even try to convince him. He just was like, straight away to like threatening to kill everyone around him.
Yeah, exactly. He knew it already wouldn't work. Then you got the next issue, you got the Hobgoblin. Okay, I'm going to breeze over this. You're probably going to have some questions.
I'm not doubting this.
At this point, this is what the Hobgoblin looks like.
Okay, I've got some questions.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a demony face, you might say.
He's kind of let himself go.
Yeah. And it's not really a mask situation anymore. See, what you got is, and I won't go into this in detail because... We'll be here until tomorrow. Yeah, and some of it involves stuff that might come up later in the show. Only some of it, because this is fucking crazy. This isn't the original Hobgoblin. The original Hobgoblin at this point has died.
Okay.
And been assassinated, and then quickly replaced by Jason Macendale Jr., who is also known as Jack-O-Lantern, who was a guy who flew around with a pumpkin head, and he was on a flying disc, and he... was kind of, a rival to Hobgoblin, but then when Hobgoblin died, he took on his identity, and then he just became Hobgoblin. Then there was this whole situation where, like, demons invaded New York, and it was a multi-issue thing is kind of confusing because it was across loads of books, and they kept the asterisks of like, this will be explained in another book, don't worry about it. And at some point during this, Hobgoblin was defeated by Spider-Man, and he goes to the demon Nastarir and asks him for more power. He gets more power, but he also gets, as you know, the devil dealing sort of situation, he gets bonded to another demon, so that's why he looks all stupid and fucked up, and he's got sharp teeth now, and now he's just like living in the sewers where Dr. Octopus approaches him. They have a quick fight. He's like, fuck you, you're a loser. But then Dr. Octopus kind of like kicks his ass, and he's like, oh, maybe you're not a loser, and joins up. Then we cut to Pennsylvania, where Mysterio has a scam going, where he's basically rigged a bridge to have a fake earthquake, because he's found out that there's a lorry that's carrying cash from Atlantic City through to Pennsylvania. It's going to go over this bridge, and he's going to hijack it. Then Doc Ock turns up. Bad. Yeah, exactly. And then Doc Ock turns up, and he's like, I love the idea that he's just like, fuck New York, I'm not going to fight Spider-Man, I'm just going to do this shit.
Get the fuck out of here.
Ock turns up and is like, I know exactly what your plan is. Hear the sirens, cops are already coming, you're about to be rumbled, do you want to get out of here? And then Mysterio's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to come with you though. And then Doc Ock's like, how many times have you been to prison? Like 8 times? And then he's like, fair enough, let's go.
Touche.
And then as they're going, Dr. Octopus is thinking to himself like, he doesn't know that I called the cops. So there's another bastard.
Such a bastard.
He's such a bastard. But it's also, the funniest thing about the idea of these guys getting together is that it's very easy to convince a lot of them. You know, they are kind of either stupid or they're like, yeah, you go to jail all the time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you want some better odds.
Yeah. Maybe this is probably going to work out better for you than by yourself.
Then in issue 336, Vulture is hired to kill a guy. Spider-Man intervenes. Aunt May's boyfriend has bet on the guy dying, and he's bet all his life savings, and then...
Aunt May's boyfriend?
Yeah, she gets a boyfriend. She can't stay single for, like, all 800 issues of this comic.
I'm surprised she hasn't died yet.
No, I mean, she dies later, but then she comes back a few times.
So who's her boyfriend?
It's this guy called, like, Nathan Lebensky or something. Oh. He's just a random guy. And he's kind of an asshole. He becomes an asshole.
Of course he is an asshole. Like...
Yeah, he ends up, like, basically he gets into gambling debts, and then basically he's dying, and then he takes out his life savings, and then he bets it on the death of this guy, because he's found out the Vulture's going to kill him, because he wants to win big so that he can provide for Aunt May after he's died.
She sure knows how to pick him, doesn't she?
Well, I mean, Uncle Ben, he was a
She made one good choice, and then just every other man... Doesn't actually at some point bang J. Jonah Jameson's dad?
Yeah, that was a good choice though.
It's a terrible choice.
No, he was a good. No, because his dad's good. He's a nice guy. He's nicer than J. He dies though.
Of course he dies.
Yeah, because they keep dying. Sort of Black Widow curse on her.
Yeah. I was gonna say something obscene then, but I'm gonna just steer wildly away from that.
Anyway, Vulture realizes he's gonna be like caught, so he takes Aunt May hostage. But then during the scuffle, Nathan grabs onto him. And Nathan is wheelchair bound, by the way.
Of course
so he like jumps with his... Well, he doesn't jump. He like grabs him from his wheelchair, and then Vulture's like, get the fuck off, and flies up. He kicks Nathan off. He falls down. Spider-Man catches him last minute. He survives. Vulture flies off. Is about to be caught by the cops. And then Doc Ock's like, yo, get in my hover ship. And then he jumps in. They fly off.
Yeah.
And then Nathan has a heart attack and dies.
Like immediately afterwards.
Yeah, immediately after this. It's super sad. And then in 337, at this point, Dr. Octopus has assembled everyone. How'd you like this speed run through like some Spider-Man
so
bullshit?
Insane.
It gets more insane. This is where I have to... I almost didn't cover this. Anyway, this is when Dr. Octopus has got all the Sinister Six together, and he's like, I'm going to reveal my plan to you. Oh, by the way, I should mention, the reason the Hobgoblin is part of the team is because this is in the early 90s, which is post Kraven's last hunt. So
Kraven is dead.
Kraven has shot his head off. He's dead as fuck.
He's gone the way of Kurt Cobain. Well, he has.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just feels weird to drop that in. Now I'm bummed out. Put in Hemingway. I'm less bummed out about that.
The early 90s is more Cobain.
Well, this is before.
To be fair, Cobain hasn't done it as well.
Yeah,
he was inspired by Kraven's last hunt.
Cut this out. Jesus Christ. So yeah, he's gone the way of Hemingway. And that's all we're saying about that. I need to get home at some point, man. Doc Ock is now assembled them all and he reveals his plan. And his plan is there's a satellite being launched in space and he wants to hijack it so that it will disperse this poison he's made into the atmosphere.
Oh, God. Damn.
And then he's going to have that as a threat. And he's going to say, make us leaders of the world or we'll spray this poison everywhere.
It's like James Bond shit.
Yeah, and then Sandman's like, this is super evil, I don't want to do it.
He's got a point.
And then Ock is like, no, I'm not going to actually go through it, it's just a threat. And then Mysterio's like, yeah, but we would die, surely. And then Dr. Octopus is like, nah, I've got the antidote, I just need you guys to get me a few things for it. So he sends Mysterio and Hobgoblin out to like steal a thing called Burundite, which is like a made-up element. And then Vulture and Electro and Sandman have to get other stuff. And Sandman's kind of like this reluctant like part of this whole thing. There's this whole situation where Mysterio turns into an old lady and makes Spider-Man look like a mugger so that it looks like someone beating up an old lady, and then the rest of the students at ESU attack him.
Yeah.
There's a lot of bullshit. And it's a series of events where Spider-Man is trying to stop each of these Sinister blokes, as they're also known, trying to stop their plans, and every single time he's about to catch them, and then Dr. Octopus like turns up and like puts them in his hover ship and then flies away.
Yeah.
Which Spider-Man ends up calling Doc Ock's taxi service at one point. It keeps happening. At this point, Hobgoblin then steals some of Doc Ock's poison for himself, which will come into play later.
He does, yeah.
And Peter, you know, just as Peter Parker, he goes to this satellite launch. He doesn't know what's going on. But then suddenly Hobgoblin and Vulture come out and attack everywhere. Electro and Sandman are taking people out. Mysterio and Doc Ock turn up. And Spider-Man starts, like, fighting them all. And then at some point he gets overpowered. And basically Doc Ock, like, wraps him up in his tentacles and is like, I'm going to fucking remove your head.
Oh, shit.
And then this is the breaking point for Sandman. That's like, no, fuck this. And then just starts, like, wailing on Doc Ock.
Oh, shit.
And then becomes, like, turns to Spider-Man's side. But then Doc Ock's like, yeah, I knew you were going to do this. He takes out a laser and he shoots him, and Sandman's like, oh no, the sand is melting, and he just, like, turns into glass.
Oh, shit.
And then Doc Ock is like, yo, one of you guys smash him. Which is the point when you realise, oh, that would, like, kill him.
Yeah.
That's, like, the only way to kill Sandman, pretty much.
Down the glass.
Yeah. And then from that point, he goes off to, like, the people launching the satellite, and he basically goes, yo, put my poison on this. And when someone says no, he just snaps their neck. Which is something I sent you the other day, like a screen cap of that, but like, because he's just like snapping necks. He's being a complete prick.
He's going like full octopus.
Yeah, as not octopuses are known for doing.
Just complete dickhead activities.
Spider-Man is still fighting them when the satellite launches. He's like, oh fuck, I failed. And then Hobgoblin throws the poison over him. And it's like, you got 15 seconds to live, bitch. And that's the end of that issue.
Oh shit.
And then the final issue, 339, it turns out Spider-Man didn't die.
Oh.
And they're all like, whoa, what the fuck, he was meant to die. And then Dr. Octopus is like, fine, I'll admit it, it's not a poison. I've actually got a secret plan that doesn't involve you five, because fuck you guys. And then he activates the satellite and disperses something.
This is like another Steven Soderbergh twist.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
And then he's like, why would I ever threaten people with poison in the atmosphere? That's really stupid. Instead, it's a cure.
So Spider-Man is cured?
Yes. But what he said is, after a few days, this will fully disperse. This is the most bonkers plan, by the way. The idea is that this is an answer to cocaine addiction.
So everyone will be cured of cocaine addiction?
Yes.
Does he solve the crack epidemic?
Almost. But the other side effect of it is that if at this point, once this is dispersed and everyone is affected by it, anyone who comes into contact with any drugs, presumably any illegal drugs, will go into convulsions. So basically,
Holy
no one can take drugs anymore. The only antidote to this is the Borondite that they stole for him, which is now the sole collection of that element on the planet, which he now owns. And now he's like, now I'll be in the sole supply of anyone who has a drug addiction will want to come to me.
So he's just Breaking Badded this entire thing. He's just
Exactly.
gone full Walter White.
Exactly. He put on the white suit.
Yeah.
And fucked everyone up.
I'm the one who knocks with 6 arms.
I'm the one who knocks 6 times in a row. And 8 times if I tap it with my foot.
If I kick your door down.
But, so he's got all that, and then his idea as well is like, there are loads of rich people who are addicted to cocaine. They're going to come to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make all the money, and I'm basically going to rule Earth.
I am not in danger, Hobgoblin. I am the danger.
But anyway, then it leads to this great bit where they will like, fuck you for betraying us, so they all attack him at once. At which point he uses his arms to deflect all their shit while he smokes a cigarette.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's literally just smoking a cigarette while his arms like fight everyone. And Spider-Man's like on the floor like, what the fuck is going on? Eventually, like, Sinister Six like, well, we're getting the fuck out of here. Dr. Octopus takes the gun that he used to fuck up Sandman, and he's like, Spider-Man, this is the only way you're going to save Sandman. Throws it into the ocean. So Spider-Man has to go after the gun while Doc Ock fucks off.
Yeah.
They will end up working on the antidote, and they find out that Dr. Octopus's like cure is also dissolving the ozone layer.
Jesus Christ.
Like, as a side effect. Like, he didn't mean to do that.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah, so he...
I don't know if that makes it worse.
Spider-Man tracks Doc Ock down to this private, like, airfield.
Yeah.
And he starts fighting him. He finds Dr. Octopus, who, of course, is drinking a martini at this point.
He's just gone, like, yeah, what the fuck happened to him?
He's gone, like, full, like, fucking Vice City.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting a bit crazy.
If he tries to escape, he just, like, takes a random car and just drives off a cliff. But
at this point, Spider-Man says, like, yeah, you're fucking up the ozone layer. And he's like, yeah.
I've got this video from this guy called Al Gore I can show you.
And Dr. Octopus is like, yeah, you're just lying, fuck you. And but then during the fight, there's an explosion and Dr. Octopus is dazed. But then he notices Spider-Man is going for the Borondite element instead of him. And he's like, if he's like going for that rather than me, he's like, either he doesn't think I'm important, or he thinks like the Borondite is super important.
Yeah.
And because he's like, well, I'm super important.
This must be
like,
really important.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay, so I guess I believe you. And he's like, yeah, you can go. And just let Spider-Man go to solve the day, and then he fucks off.
Man, that man's ego is fragile.
Yeah, and then to disperse the cure for the cure, Thor turns up and goes into space. He destroys the old satellite, and then he disperses this new cure antidote with the winds of Mjolnir.
Sure.
And
at this point, why not?
He comes down and he's like, oh, Spider-Man, why are you looking so glum? And Spider-Man's like, oh, just thinking about what could have been. Because he's like thinking, like, what if we just like cured drug addiction? And he's like kind of a bit bummed out that Dr. Octopus's plan didn't work.
I'm pretty sure that, like, yeah, like, if he wanted to, Doc Ock could just like solve all of humanity's problems.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
But he's just too much of a bastard.
Yeah. Interesting thing about this, because this actually comes up in a later issue, but canonically now from this point, and I don't know if they ever did something to change this, but canonically from this point, because Spider-Man is the only person who was met with a cure, Spider-Man is now immune to the effects of cocaine. So I just wanted to say, I know that was long, and I just talked through 6 issues, but that's 6 issues getting to the point where Spider-Man can't have cocaine anymore. And presumably he wasn't.
Damn it, my days of potting are over.
Because they have a huge thing in the comics where Peter Parker doesn't really like drink alcohol.
Yeah.
Really, he's a good boy TM with that stuff. So he is occasionally will have it, and he gets drunk really easily because he's a lightweight. That kind of guy is probably not having cocaine, and so it's not really an issue for him. But I just want to call out anyone who's managing any like of these Marvel Wikipedia things, like that should be in powers and abilities.
He's immune to cocaine.
He's immune to cocaine.
He can't get high of cocaine.
Yeah.
What about crack? Is it all forms of cocaine?
I mean,
Can Spider-Man smoke crack?
I'm assuming it's all drugs, actually.
Shit, so he can't even like get high.
I mean, I don't. They're quite. Doc Ock is kind of vague when he's describing the addiction. He's like, this is the answer to drug addiction, and then says about cocaine. And so who knows? Yeah. But can't have coke no more.
No, Spider-Man's going to have regular fun like the rest of us.
Yeah.
The only drug he can have is adrenaline.
Anyway, I feel like I'm going to have like a little bit of a asthmatic attack after breezing through all of that.
Yeah, that was a whirlwind ride, and I've...
Yeah, but that's Did
you say the Hobgoblin was assassinated, by the way?
Yeah, I can't get into it because it's going to deal with stuff about his identity, which I assume will play into the show at some point. No, fair. So I don't want to deal with that. I know the way he dies in the comics is very weird, but I'll probably talk about that in the future.
When we see the Hobgoblin again.
But I know there's more bullshit in store with me, because what I've just described about the Hobgoblin is like, I don't know, like a quarter of his Wikipedia page.
Oh, shit.
And that's including the stuff I just said I haven't said.
Oh, God.
So there's a bunch of bullshit. There's a lot of retcons and shit like that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But no, that brings us to the end of a whirlwind comic book origins. And yeah, that must be the end.
Henry's face got this like, he's like frowning, he looks just bewildered and confused.
There was just so many questions. And yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode of That 90s Spider-Man Show.
And the end of the Insidious 6 arc. I guess I'm sure they'll come back, but
they must come back.
It's the end of this two-parter.
There'll be a reunion tour,
and presumably 1/3 through the neogenic nightmare.
Yeah, I suppose so.
That Henry has just realised is a thing.
Why? We said 1/3 of the way because there's 13 episodes.
No, but I don't think it's a whole season. I think it's 6. I think it's 6 episodes.
But yeah,
I'm pretty sure I know what the next few episodes are about.
Okay.
But I'm not going to look it up.
Okay.
Let's jump in and see what happens.
Let's swing right in. But that's for another time, folks. But for now, we've come to the end of That 90s Spider-Man Show for another day. Thanks for tuning in with us. Thanks for taking us on this wild journey. No, we've taken you on this wild journey. Thanks for coming on this
you just sat there, lazy fuck.
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you? Go out there and do some jogging.
Yeah, or find us on Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr and WordPress and all those things, where most of the time we're That 90s SM Show. You can find all that stuff in the link in the description below.
Yeah.
And of course that means our Twitter, which is Not Again Henry.
And
JalexG _
with an underscore.
Which I always say JalexG. JAlexG_.
But otherwise, see you next time, folks. Thanks for tuning into That 90s Spider-Man Show. I've been Henry, that's been Jack, and this has been the podcast. We'll see you next time.
I can't believe you didn't do the thing.